What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Redefining Manliness podcast. My name's Thomas.
What's up, y'all? I'm Jonathan.
And this is our first episode, so we're excited to get started. We're going to let you know in this episode a little bit about why we're doing this podcast, what we're looking to accomplish, and we're also going to give you guys a little intro about ourselves, who we are, and what our backgrounds are.
Yeah, stay tuned.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Thanks so much for joining us. Like we said, my name's Thomas.
What's up, y'all? I'm Jonathan.
And we're just going to let you know in this podcast a little bit about why we're doing this. As you can tell, this is called Redefining Manliness. And what we're here to do is just talk a little bit about what we think is missing from qualities that we think are missing from men in society these days.
Yeah, just masculinity, manliness, just men in general. What is a man? What should a man be? And kind of what our definition of that is, and how we would like to redefine the current cultural definition of a man and of manliness.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we're, like we said in the intro, we're going to give you guys a little intro on ourselves, tell you about a little bit about our backgrounds, which will help kind of form our discussion and opinions in this podcast.
Yeah, and it'll give you guys an idea of who we are, because I'm sure you're watching like, well, who are these two guys to tell me what randos. A man is supposed to be? Just because they've got beards. By the way, Thomas is new to the beard club, y'all. Give him some shout outs because it looks good.
Yeah,
I love it.
I had to grow one because before we started this podcast, Jonathan actually told me I'm not allowed to be on a podcast called Redefining Manliness if I don't have a beard.
It's true.
So I grew it at least for one episode. We'll see if it sticks.
Once you redefine it and you've got the beard, then you can do whatever you want. But now I know you can grow it and you've got it in you. So that's good.
That's great. Well, before we dive in, this is the spot where we would normally thank our sponsors and give a shout out to them.
Yeah, all the people paying the bills.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we have one sponsor right now. Mm-hmm. That sponsor, it's a huge sponsor. They're fully funding this entire podcast.
So grateful.
Maybe not fully. Maybe
50%. Yeah.
That sponsor is actually my business. You're going to hear a little bit about this in my intro. The business is called TMH Financial Coaching. I do financial coaching and help people to build budgets, get out of debt, save for their future, all the fun stuff. I come from a money background, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, which is awesome. I mean, it's such a great sponsor for the show because, one of the big things that men are supposed to be is providers. And how are you going to be a provider if your finances are in a shambles, if you can't even, take care of yourself or plan for your future or provide for your family? And you doing that, one, is a great benefit to the community, but two, it's a great sponsor for this podcast. So I appreciate thank you for giving 50%. And, I want to thank our other sponsor, my wife. Thank you, baby.
But that being said, we're totally willing to sell out to some other sponsors.
Oh yeah, I'm not above it at all.
Anybody who wants to, who's listening to this, that if you want to send us a product that you'd like us to talk about, we'd be happy to do a video on that. If you want to send us, just some money, right? That's cool too.
Yeah,
I'm down for that. I'll just shout your name out. Let us know, reach out to us, contact us. We'll be happy to get you on.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure we have a line somewhere.
Yeah.
Women's razors. Maybe. I mean, I heard what was the commercial? It's strong enough for a man, gentle enough for a woman, something like that. We'll figure it out. We'll get the plug when we get it.
Not sure that's razors, but
whatever.
That's neither here nor there. But we'd love to. If you own a business locally, we're here in Colorado. So if you own a business locally, we'd love to shout you out for our local community, local listeners here. But regardless if you're local or not, if you sell something, if you have a business, Jonathan's got a little glass of whiskey there. That could be your bottle of whiskey sitting on this table for us to promo.
So if you want to send me your whiskey, I will drink it and I will try it out and I will tell people how great or not great it is. I'm sure it's all going to be great because it's whiskey. It's never bad.
Yeah, I mean, and free always tastes better, right? So send it to us. We'll check it out. So that's where we normally plug our sponsors. And when we get more, that'll be a lot more fun to shout you guys out. Yeah. So make sure you contact us, hit us up, and we'll get you on here. Also, let's plug social.
So
you can find us on social.
Get us on the gram.
Yep, Facebook. We got a Facebook and YouTube.
Nice. I didn't even know we had a YouTube. Awesome.
Yeah, because it's a video podcast too. So you can find us on all the podcast stations for audio, but we've got a YouTube channel too. So you can watch the whole entire podcast if you prefer to watch it in video. Check us out on YouTube. All of it is going to be at Redefining Manliness. So make sure you check us out there.
Yeah, follow us on the gram, follow us on YouTube, on Facebook. We're going to post up. We're probably not going to blow up your feed, but we definitely will be present, whether it's video content, whether it's pictures, whether it's clips, whether it's just an encouraging word we have for the week or something we want to share with you guys. We'll be on there, we'll be present, and we love the chance to just interact with all of you guys and interact with each other, and it'll be a good time. So make sure you're following us at Redefining Manliness.
Yeah, absolutely. Check it out. So let's get into some intros.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So I think we decided that I would go first in this.
Well, yeah. So now we know you were in business, in finance. You've got a history in that. So give us a little bit more of that. Give us, had you always been in finance? Is that a new thing? Who is Thomas? Let's find this
Thomas. Thomas is a guy with a fresh cut beard, just freshly grown. But more than that, I started my working career. I started by owning a business. My wife and I moved to Colorado in 2008 and purchased a business. And it was the worst possible time to purchase a business in the middle of a recession.
Yeah, it's a little rough time.
But it made us a living for 8 years until 2016. We actually owned a second location during that time span. Eventually sold them both off, and then we started working for our church. She started working there first. Then they recruited me in the finance department just because of my business background. And so I worked at the church in accounting for a long time. And I guess that was about 6 years.
Wow.
Almost exactly 6 years. Then I transitioned out. I did a few temp accounting jobs with the company that I was working for. And then I found my passion in this financial coaching. And I started my own business. Like I said, TMH Financial Coaching. Make sure you find all my social pages there at TMH Financial Coaching. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube as well there. But yeah, like I said, what I'm doing is I'm helping people to create budgets, fix their finances, get out of debt, save for their future, just change their relationship with money. A lot of people have a negative relationship with money.
It comes in and it flies out faster than it comes in. And I think obviously I've experienced that personally, and I'm sure people all around the world have experienced the same thing. So it's cool to have somebody that can speak some insight into that, and not somebody that just so much does it just as a personal thing, but you obviously did it in your own business. You did it for a big church, big corporation per se, running finances like that. So I'm sure there's some differences between running finances for big business, big things like that, and a household, but I'm sure there's a lot of similarities as well, and I'm sure people can take use of that and advantage of that. And I mean, that alone kind of puts you into, I don't want to say a different category, but definitely one of the definitions we said of manliness earlier about that provider, having that concept, that mindset of here's what I'm making, here's how I'm growing in my finances, here how that benefits not only myself, but my family, my children, my community, and the future and all that stuff. So that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And, like I said, I found that as my passion. I realized that when I was working in the accounting world for corporations and the church and things like that I knew that what I did was meaningful, because you can't run a business without the accounting department or some aspect of it. And so I knew that what I was doing was beneficial to the whole organization, but I was missing that interaction with people. There were other coworkers and things like that, but when I transitioned to the financial coaching, I realized I got to do the number side of things, which I really like. But I also got to interact with people one-on-one, which I didn't realize how much I liked until I started doing it. And it's been a lot of fun. I've got some great clients that I'm working with right now, and they're fantastic. Shout out to all those guys. So it's just really been a lot of fun. But besides the career, my personal life.
Yeah, I was about to ask. I was like, okay, cool. So this is the career, man. Which is one side of being a man. I've got a job, cool.
Yeah.
But there's more to that. What about the personal side? Who's the Thomas at home?
Yeah, the Thomas at home is married to an amazing wife named Julie. She is the reason that I'm still here today. Otherwise, if I would have been on my own for all these years, I definitely wouldn't have made it this
Ain't
far.
that a fact? Shout out to all the good wives out there.
Yeah,
you make
absolutely.
you make good men.
Absolutely. And so, we've been married since 2006, so
Wow.
14 years,
Wow.
going on 15, and it's been a blast. It's been a fun ride the whole time, and we've got 3 amazing kids. We've got twin 6-year-old boys. We got them the first time around.
Handful.
So first time
Right
we
out of the
decided to
gate.
have kids. Went from 0 to 2,
Wow.
just like that.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that was a change.
Yeah.
And then we waited 5 years and decided to try again because when you get 2 of them at once, it takes a while to recover.
I think we're done for a hot minute, and then maybe we'll try this again in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. So then we decided to try again. We got a girl, and
Beautiful little girl.
She is the best.
A sweetheart.
And she's 18 months now, going
already?
on 13 with the attitude. It's ridiculous.
Oh man, good luck
but
to you.
she's adorable. So that's us. Married for 14 years, 3 kids, and still
awesome.
want to stay married.
Yeah.
So
that's always a plus too.
That's plus.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. And so yeah, that's me. That's Thomas.
I like it.
So now it's your turn.
Yeah,
Let's hear about
Jonathan has a great life, loving his wife. But so Thomas and I'm sure you guys are wondering, well, how did you guys get together? Well, not me and my wife, me and Thomas. Me and my wife got together a whole different way. But me and Thomas and I, we actually met at the church he mentioned. We were working there together when he was working in accounting. I was working, currently still am working there as a worship pastor. And it was funny.
That's a funny story in itself.
So the day we met, it's literally probably the day or the next day, like my first or second day on the job, we're there, and I'm getting to know people, and I'm interacting with everybody, and I'm like, okay, cool. Here's my office. Here's stuff that I need. Here's resources, and I go to Thomas. I'm like, hey man, I need this resource that the guy before me purchased, but I don't have access to his download information or whatever. So I'm gonna have to buy it again. And he goes, you know what we should do? We should create a generic worship email for when you're gone and the next guy gets here. We don't have to buy this again on day 1. And I was like, okay, cool. That'll be fun. But now Thomas is gone and I'm still there. So, haha, joke's on you. Granted, now you got your own business and stuff. So it worked out for the best.
Hey, talk to me when you're there for 6 years.
Yeah, for real. So I have been there now for 3 years, going on 4. And it's a great time. I'm currently now the worship pastor there at the church, campus pastor recently, and it's been a great experience. It's been a great life. It's definitely really defined, my beliefs and my thoughts on all this stuff. And some of you guys, you're like, oh man, this guy's a pastor. It's going to be a church thing. This is not a church thing. This isn't you need Jesus to be a real man. I do believe that, but that's not what we're going to be here spewing out. We're both believers. We're both, we're both followers of Christ and stuff, but that's not what's defining this. This is more being defined just from our experience as men and just kind of what we see in the world. So if you're like, I don't want to watch these guys because they're going to just be preaching the whole time, we promise you, we're not going to be preaching the whole time. It's going to come up because again, it's what defines, it's what defines our core beliefs. So it definitely will come up, but it'll never be, shoving it down your throat. It'll never be, you need Jesus or else. It'll never be that. So,
however, in all fairness, we do have the microphones. So
there's that
we
too.
can say whatever we want. So
yeah, that's true. Once you're subscribed, you don't have to listen again.
But yeah, like Jonathan said, we're going to be talking about it occasionally just because it's going to shape some of our opinions,
absolutely.
But we're not going to try and cram it down anyone's throat. That's not what we're here for.
Absolutely.
Although that is what we believe.
Yeah.
So
that's been the last 3 to 4 years of what I've been doing. Before that, I was in the military. I was a military police officer for 6 years in the United States Army. Loved it. Great job. Really some defining moments in my life. Some kind of really just molded who I am and kind of my beliefs. And these last 3 years, I've really just kind of, dusted off the edges, sanded down the rough edges, and kind of had some molding. I know some of you guys are wondering, you're probably thinking, oh, that guy looks old. He's wise. I'm not old. And I'm definitely not wise. But I've got input. I've got insight. I learned leadership in the military. I'm using leadership now. So it's really kind of defined me speaking into things, speaking into people. And now, we're taking this advantage of this medium to speak into things that we're seeing and things that we're seeing in the world and how we want to share into that and shift things and redefine that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your service.
Man,
I know everyone out there is going to say the same thing, but I've got the microphone, so I'm going to say it for them. So
appreciate that.
Thank you for your service. We appreciate that. Now let's talk about Jonathan at home.
Oh man, Jonathan at home. Well, it depends who you ask. If you ask me, Jonathan at home is wonderful. He's the kind of husband that's always lending a helping hand.
That's who we're asking. We talked about this ahead of time,
that's
that there may be a day where we have our wives come on, then they'll get to say what they want to say.
And
But for
you
now,
guys will see a whole different picture of
for
us.
now.
But for now, so it's like, nah, man. As I mentioned, I'm married. I've been married now for 6 years, going on 7 in July, to my wonderful wife, Kimberly. It's like you said, she's really defined me. She's really helped me. She's really just encouraged me and supported me. And I'm where I'm at, and I'm who I am because of her. I tell her this as much as I can. I'm like, I would be useless without you. If it wasn't for you, I'd probably be living in my car somewhere and just like, oh, that's fine. It's just a good life. So definitely appreciative of her, and I'm just glad that she's in my life. And as of recently, we are expecting parents.
Whoop, whoop.
I'm excited, man. It's a great time. We're going to find out the gender of our baby here in a couple weeks, which would be sweet. I think December 10th, I think we have the appointment to go.
Are you guys going to be telling everyone, or are you keeping it to yourselves?
No, we're doing a gender reveal party.
Good.
So as soon as we get all that information, we'll send it all out. One of our friends is planning that for us, so it'll be fun. I can't wait to know.
We'll make sure a video goes up on our pages
Absolutely.
so you guys can share in that too.
Absolutely. So I'm excited. She wants a boy. I want a girl, but I'm happy with whatever the Lord decides to give us.
Amen.
And it'll be a good time. So that's me. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a brother. I'm a friend. I'm a man.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And, we did a lot of planning when we were kind of going into this podcast.
It's like a year in the making.
Yeah, it took a long time for us to get here. And we did a lot of talking about what our kind of core beliefs are about what it takes to be a man. And I know, we listed out a bunch of characteristics that we think men need to have. And I know you took some time and went ahead and wrote that out. Do you want to go ahead and kind of go through that with us?
Yeah. So, we sat down, we talked about, we call them the core values of a man, core values of what makes a good man, not just a man, but a good man. And what we came up with was this. We came up with bravery. A good man is brave, loyalty, strength, and not just physical strength, which I do think is important, but also mental and emotional strength to carry on different weights in different seasons. Also, we talked about honesty, integrity. Those are two very different things. Honesty is what you do when people are watching. Integrity is what you do when people aren't watching.
Yeah.
So having the distinction between those two. We talked about respect. We talked about wisdom. I think a good man should be wise, should be, teaching and sharing with others. We talked about self-discipline and compassion.
Yeah.
I know a lot of the times we think, well, a good man should be strong and tough and all this stuff. And but a good man should also be compassionate and respectful and kind and loving. So we figured all these things kind of enveloped everything that we talked about. And we also put together a mantra, per se, for ourselves, kind of basing off of this. And we says, be better today than you were yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of times we say, well, be better tomorrow than you were today. And that sounds nice, but tomorrow is, well, I'll do this tomorrow.
It never comes.
It never comes.
It's always today.
I'll change tomorrow. I'll grow tomorrow. I'll be better tomorrow. And us, our challenge to each other and our challenge to you guys is to be better today.
Yeah.
Right now, you have control of what's happening in your life today. You can't control tomorrow. You can't control yesterday, but you can control today. So do something different that's going to make you stronger, better, just a better man today than you were yesterday.
And let me add on to that real quick. Glancing back at yesterday is totally fine.
Yeah.
That way you can kind of gauge how you need to get better today.
Oh, yeah.
But living in the past, just always watching, don't Uncle Rico here.
Dude, I was about to say the same thing. I could have got pro.
I could throw this ball over the mountains.
Don't be that guy.
Don't Uncle Rico on this. Just make sure you take a glance back so you know how you can move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we're talking about these core values, or we're introducing ourselves as men, you guys might be wondering, okay, cool, that's awesome. It's good to know who you are. It's good to know your values. But why are you guys doing this? Why are you guys doing this? Why are you guys taking the time to do this podcast? And I used to laugh at all the guys that were doing podcasts. I'm like, that's easy, just talking to a microphone. It's okay. Respect.
Yeah,
it takes a little bit more time and effort for sure. But why? Why are we doing this? Obviously, like we mentioned at the beginning, right now, Thomas's company is our sponsor. We're paying out of our own pockets for this stuff. So it's not to make money, which would be nice, at some point. But that's not really our driving force. It's not really our goal at the moment. So I kind of want to share a little bit of that with you guys about why. personally, and I mean, like St. Thomas and I have talked about this, and we've kind of written this out. But we think men now more than ever have lost their identity and their purpose in the world. I mean, you guys see it all around you. You guys see weak men, you see evil men, and more, or actually less and less, do we see strong men? Do we see good, faithful men? So it started to weigh on us, and we said, you know what, we can do something about that, and that's what we're doing this. We want to step into that role and teach men to be better, to be stronger. You know, I think us as males, as men, we've abdicated our authority and our responsibility, and now the world is suffering for it.
Yeah.
You know, G. Michael Hoff said a long time ago, he said, strong men create good times create weak men create hard times, and hard times create strong men. And now, I'm sure it doesn't matter who you ask. Anybody you ask is going to say, yeah, we're living in some hard times.
Yeah.
Because we've got some weak men.
Yeah.
But now it's time to create some strong men to lead us into some good times. So that's kind of, you know, the big why. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, I think that something that we're looking to do is, you know, everything you just said there, the, you know, strong men lead to good times, that whole circle. I mean, I think it's going to be a natural circle consistently. But I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out how we can stretch out the strong men part to a longer period of time. You know, the longer we can have strong men, I think the better off we're going to be. And how we can shorten the trip around the circle through the other three. You know,
we don't want to spend too much time in the hard times.
Yeah. If strong men are going to create good times, that's fine. You know, just don't stay in the good times so long. Don't be weak men so long. Don't create hard times for so long. If we can get through the rest of that circle pretty quickly and keep it stretched out on the strong men side, I think that's one of our big goals that we're trying to accomplish here. Yeah,
and it really is our responsibility in the good times, you know, to continue to create good men, strong men. That when we get to the weak times, we have those strong men that can lead us out, versus we're in hard times and we don't have any strong men to lead us out, and now we're stuck here for whoever knows how long. So that's kind of our philosophy and what we're thinking. You know, why is this necessary? Why should we speak into that?
Yeah.
And then the next question that people ask, that I ask myself, is, cool, there's a why, but who in the world are you to speak into that why? And honestly, I think that's a very common. I think that's a very common mentality in anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody wants to try something new. Anybody that wants to change something. Anybody that wants to make a difference in their life and the world. Well, who am I? What can one man do?
Yeah. It's a fair question.
Ask MLK, what can one man do?
Yeah.
You know, like, you see all these guys, you know, and all these great men throughout history that have done amazing things, and they're one guy. Now, obviously, they have people that follow them and go with them, and I think that's the goal.
That's key.
Be that one guy who makes a difference in your surroundings, and then those guys make a difference in their surrounding, and then it's
about that ripple effect.
Perfect. That's a great
example.
example.
Throw the stone into the lake and watch how far it goes.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, if we're being frank, we really don't have any extra qualifications. No. Like, me being a pastor doesn't overqualify me to lead other men and to do other stuff. Like, yeah, the job calls for it, and I step into that leadership, but it's not. I'm just overly qualified because of that. Because
it's not magic.
Yeah, because I'm a husband, I can speak to every husband's life.
Yeah,
like, it doesn't work that way. But I think what qualifies us is that the fact that we've seen it.
Yeah,
we've seen the vacancy, we've seen the need, and we said we can fill that need.
Yeah,
you know, we can supply that and make it better. And honestly, I think that's anybody's first step to making a difference.
Yeah,
seeing something that needs to change and being willing to step into it and change it. And you may stumble, you may mess up, but you're willing to take the risk and do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that, you know, getting out there and getting going is the first step. Yeah. And, you know, something I tell all my clients that I work with in financial coaching is that it doesn't really matter, you know, where you're starting as long as you just keep going. Yeah. And so that's kind of where we're at. We're just trying to figure out where we're starting and just start moving forward. You know, if we're standing still, you know, like think of a lake that doesn't have an inlet or an outlet. It's just going to get stagnant. It's just going to grow that scum on the top of it. And, you know, as men, if we're just standing still and we're not trying to better ourselves or better others around us, then we're just going to get stagnant and gross. And that's it. And so we've got to have that constant movement to try and get better.
That's good. That's a good analogy. I like that. So I have another analogy of standing still, which, I mean, it kind of relates, but I just want to share because it's one of my favorite analogies. It's being on a treadmill. Life is being on a treadmill. Mm-hmm. Life is moving and you're moving forward in it. But if you stop on the treadmill, what happens?
You fall off.
You go backwards, right? A lot of people, well, if you stop moving, at least you're still, and at least you're in a good spot. No, like life is a treadmill. Life is going to keep moving even if you stop. And if you stop, it's going to kick you backwards and you're going to fall off. So don't stop. Keep pushing forward and be better today than you were yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of what we're looking at, and what we're trying to accomplish here. You listed off all those characteristics that we've thought up. We didn't think them up, but that we thought tied to this whole thing, this whole Redefining Manliness podcast. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be tackling each one of those characteristics in future episodes. Were there 10 of them?
Let's see, we got 8? Bravery, loyalty, strength. With strength could break off into 3 other segments. Honesty, integrity, respect, wisdom, self-discipline, and compassion. 9. And yes, I do need my fingers to count above that, because I was like, wait, I'm going to get lost. 9.
All right. So 9. So we've got 9 characteristics. We're going to go through each one in a different episode coming up, so that we can really just break each one down and talk about why that helps us to move forward as men and grow better as men. So make sure you stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, follow us on all the channels, so that you can know when our newest episode is going to drop, and you can make sure that you're following along for that, and keep up for each one.
We've got all kinds of stuff coming for you, and if you got any sort of input, come on, leave us a comment, leave us a like, let us know. We'd love to hear from you guys. And before we leave you guys, I want to share with you guys our definition of manliness. What is manliness? We wrote it out, and you guys are wondering, cool, there's all these values and stuff, but what is it? So here's what we wrote out. It says, to be manly is defined as being brave and strong. But to us, to be manly is to be a good man. To be a good man requires balance within ourselves and values that push us to go further and to be better. A good man is one who is brave, who can stand against the fears and dangers in life and say, I will not be moved, I will not be shaken. A good man is one who is loyal to more than just himself, who is honest with others, and who also has the integrity to do the right thing when no one is looking. A good man treats himself and others with respect that every person deserves and has the compassion for those who are suffering. A good man has the strength to be self-disciplined. He knows when to stop and think before acting or speaking, and he has the wisdom to live not out of impulse, but out of structure. A good man is strong enough to protect himself and those he cares about, but also strong enough to face emotional distress as well as offer support to those who need it. A good man is not one who fulfills all of these values to their fullest extent, rather one who strives every day to be better than he was yesterday. Let's be good men. Let's be manly men.
Yeah, absolutely. That is fantastic. Did you write that?
I did.
Dude.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's from the heart.
Come on.
For sure. But yeah, I think that, something I wanted to point out, we were talking about this a minute ago. Why are we qualified?
Yeah.
You could say that we're not.
You could,
but we're not perfect in all those areas.
Oh,
absolutely, we're far from it. But it's kind of like looking at it from the outside. When you're just working on a project and you can't figure out the answer or something, and someone just walks over to your desk and is like, "Oh yeah, there's your problem." It's just kind of getting that extra set of eyes on things. That's what we're trying to do here, is just put some eyes on on society here and try and teach you. Something else I tell my clients is that the reason I'm qualified to help coach them, I don't have $1 million in the bank. I don't have it all figured out, but I've walked the road. I've figured out how to make a budget. I've figured out how to work my way out of debt and create a plan of that. And so, that's what we're trying to do here. We've walked the road, at least to some extent, with some of those things. We're not perfect in all of them, but we're just trying to get better, and hopefully you guys are going to be along for the ride. We're going to hit all of those in future episodes. While we're talking about future episodes, let's run through a list of some things that we're also going to talk about on the podcast here. We wrote a list of all the different things we want to talk about. We're not going to just pour it on in that every single week. And
every week is bravery.
But we want to talk about real life stuff too. We're like we said, we're married, we're dads. We're going to definitely talk about that stuff.
Oh my God, we're
fatherhoods.
Dads. It still hits me different every time. Yeah.
Wait till you hold the baby,
dude.
Man.
You're gonna lead that topic. I'm just gonna sit here with my kid and just be like, just taking notes the whole time.
We're gonna be talking about fatherhood. That's on the top of our list. We're gonna be talking about relationships and marriage, respect. That's one of our values. We're gonna be talking about toxic masculinity.
That's
that's a really awful stereotype that's out there, and not necessarily a stereotype either, but I think it can be stereotyped on a lot of men.
Absolutely.
But
and I think I don't even want to go on the tangent here on that, but we'll leave that because I've got some. We'll leave it for that topic.
Future episode.
Stay tuned for toxic masculinity, because I've got some thoughts on that one.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about values, just values you need to have in your household. Leadership. We're definitely going to do that.
Talk about finances with the finance guy.
Absolutely, that. Money. We got to do that. I could do a whole series on that. But we're going to talk about fun stuff, just stuff that we like. We like guns. Nothing wrong with that.
I've got one in here somewhere. Yeah, we do.
Guns, knives. Many people may not think politics is fun. We're not going to shy away from that, though. We're going to make sure that we touch base on that. And one of the goals here is not just to cram our values down, our personal values down people's throat. We want to try to see from other people's point of view. So, if we're talking about, this election that just recently happened, we're going to try and play both sides of it and really see where we come out and see if we can shine light on a different perspective.
Yeah. And, at some point in time, we'll probably have one of us will be stepping out, and we'll have somebody in here that has a different point of view.
Yeah.
We've talked about having our wives on here, and they can run the show without us, and they would probably do a much better job at it.
They'd be better looking, at least.
Absolutely. Much better to look at. We'll do audio just that way. I don't want you guys looking at my wife. Just audio. So we'll change it up, man. We'll have a great time, and we'll have other people come in that can give us some of their input and some of their expertise. And so don't think it's all it's all seriousness. And obviously, we want to carry some sense of seriousness with this because we see a need. But we also want to have some fun with it. We want a good time. We have a good conversation, and that's what being a man is about. It's about hanging out with your friends. It's about just talking and getting into some deep stuff, but also just messing around.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because one of the things we're going to talk about is the bromance.
Bro,
we got to do that.
Bromance. Yeah.
You got to have a bro or some bros in your life that you can just get on a different level with in conversation. I mean, having fun, hanging out and just spending that time is good, but you got to have those guys that can help push you, that are going to tell you the things that you don't want to hear. I do that to you all the time. all the time. Like
sometimes
your first day working.
Almost too much. We got to figure out a good balance to that. Tell me stuff I want to hear too.
Yeah, we'll be talking about food, drinks. Especially if anyone sends us some drinks to work with.
Yeah, whatever. And if you're like, man, I wish they would talk about this. We'll send us something to talk about, and we will.
Yeah, absolutely. Outdoors. That's not gonna be my topic. That's definitely gonna be your topic. I'm not an outdoors guy.
You can. So you lead the fatherhood conversation. Yep. I'll lead the outdoors conversation, and it'll work out perfectly.
I'll just take a vacation to the beach or something that week.
That's outside. And that counts as the outdoors.
Yeah, well, I'm not sleeping outdoors. I'm not going to sleep outside of the beach. It's not going to happen.
Awesome.
But tech, we both love tech.
Yes.
Apple.
They run the world.
It's all over the place.
Forget tech. That's not even tech. We're going to talk about Apple.
Yeah. If you guys want to sponsor us, if anybody at Apple is watching and you guys would like to sponsor us and send us tons of gear,
send us the iPhone 15. We'll test it out.
Absolutely.
It's coming out in 2 months anyways, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. We're both gamers.
Yes.
I apologize for Jonathan in advance because he likes to play PlayStation. I'm an Xbox guy. So, his opinion won't really matter as much in the gaming category.
It's all right.
It's true.
Better quality, better graphics, whatever. Spec speaks for themselves.
Yeah. So, speaking of that, sponsors again.
Oh.
PlayStation, Xbox. You guys want to send us the new
You don't
even
know what the new Xbox is.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what's the new Xbox?
The Xbox Series X.
Okay, all right.
I think
I definitely spend more time on my console.
I can't afford it yet, so I haven't really.
You've got 3 kids, so you can't really. That's true. That's fair.
So yeah, that's we've talked about maybe have an episode with our wives. We want to get them on here at some point and get their opinions on stuff. But
I'll interview your wife. You interview my wife. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah, when we're not in the room.
Yeah, I'll fill you in on some secrets.
Good idea. Write that down. Yeah. But that's not an all-inclusive list. We're gonna find other topics to talk about. You guys can send us topics to talk about, and we'd love to get it on the show. Send us questions that you want us to talk about, things like that. Like Jonathan said, we want to hear feedback. We'll probably only listen to the good feedback. In all fairness,
we'll read the negative feedback and we'll learn from it. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, guys, be on the lookout. We're wanting to post the first and third Wednesday of every month. So be on the lookout. Obviously, follow us on social media. Follow us Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We might make a TikTok. Who knows? That's the thing. I probably won't because it's for kids. But whatever. We'll try things out and see where it goes. But follow us. Be on the lookout and share with your friends. Share with your family. Ladies, if you guys are watching, share with the man in your life. You're like, I want you to shape up. Or guys, maybe we hit on a topic that you've been wanting to tell your friend about, and you can't step up to it and be like, hey man, you should listen to this. It might help you. Share it with your friends, man. We love to just speak into you guys' lives and just share with you guys and grow together. So let's be better today than we were yesterday. Thank you guys for joining us, and have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next time.